Namaskar, this is Amitabh Bachchan and you are watching Bollywood Hungama. Thank you.
Well, in a recent interaction before the release of his last film, Teen, Mr. Bachchan had said in a media interaction that the fact that if you get satisfied with your work, that means that you put a full stop to yourself and your career. And the fact that he keeps on reinventing himself is the fact that he keeps on surprising millions of his fans all across the world. And when you see the promo of Pink, you realize that once again he has surprised his audience, because the sort of dialogues and the sort of persona that he's enacting in Pink is something that maybe he has never done before. So huge pleasure to have you back on Bollywood Hungama, first of all.
Thank you.
And you know, the moment when you see the promo and when you say to Taapsee that are you a virgin, that entire thing itself is just, it has that shock value, and you're just in a totally new avatar. Is it something that you in a way maybe consciously do to just keep on reinventing yourself? Or
no, I just go according to what the script is and what is written for me.
Right, sir.
But in the sequence that you're referring to is part of a courtroom drama that happens in the film.
Right.
The mode of questioning is sometimes perhaps looking a little aggressive to a viewer of the film. But if it is going to assist the lawyer in finding a solution to the case that he's fighting for, then I guess permissible lines
Right.
in the courts of justice, which has come through a lot of research, through a lot of real life incidents,
Right.
through meeting lawyers, going to various fronts in the courts of not just one city, Delhi, Bangalore, Kolkata. So the research has been done, and this is really a culmination of a lot of that research. So it's not surprising that somebody is using these lines, because they have been used before.
Right.
In courtroom sequences. Perhaps in cinema, yes.
Right.
It is appearing for the first time, and maybe that's why there is such a lot of perhaps a shock value or an
Exactly.
interest.
Right.
But when you see the film, you will realize that it is done because that's the support, or that's the argument that allows him to take the case forward. Whether he's going to win it, whether he's going to lose it, who he's fighting for, who he's fighting against.
Exactly.
All that, of course, you come to see.
Because there's Piyush Mishra's character as well, and even he is kind of asking that since when have you been soliciting? So it's a bit difficult to just decide that which of the two lawyers are on which side they are. One more dialogue which has, I think, triggered a lot of debate is that when you tell Taapsee that you're a woman of questionable character, people can keep on arguing that it's like a male-dominated society, and a woman is always put in the Katgara as it is literally said. How do you, because once again, another dialogue that one doesn't expect Mr. Bachchan mouthing in a film, and that adds to the curiosity value as well.
I think somewhere you will have to remove the real-life character and transfer him to what he plays on screen.
Absolutely.
On screen, this is the kind of person he is. This is the kind of, let's say, technique that he uses, or any lawyer uses when he's fighting a case in a court.
Right.
And let me say that whatever you've seen or heard is not out of context. It is very much a part of the scenario that is being played out, and will eventually convince the viewer when they see the film that yes, this was desired, this was immediate, this was something that needed to be said, this was something that the lawyer wanted to use or defend himself in the argument that he was putting up.
Sure. Now you've played negative shades, negative roles in your career as well, sir. And once again, when we see the promo of Pink, it seems that there are grey shades to your personality, and even the look that we are seeing right now as well. How interesting was it to play something like this?
Yeah, actually, it's difficult for me to, narrate the entire reason and the cause and the character.
Absolutely.
Completely.
Yeah, right.
I think that's really the mystery that is intriguing people to come and see the film.
Gee.
We hope that continues. But I'm sure that once they see the film, they will realize that whether it is justified or not will only be revealed once we see the film. So one plays characters if they are challenging, if they're interesting, if there is enough impetus from the director to accept something like this. It's a wonderful phase, I feel, for somebody my age to be getting roles like this and being fortunate enough to be able to play them. I look upon it as that. Earlier on, it was just playing the leading man who, fights for the leading lady, and everything ends in a happy mode. But yeah, now that there is age, I can't be playing the leading role, so I play characters which are more commensurate with my age, and also it provides a variety which perhaps wasn't there earlier on.
Now, one thing which is, I think, very, very noticeable is the entire chilling voice, the way you just saying the dialogue. It's something, it has a very chilling effect. It has a very steely effect into it as well. You also mentioned in the interaction that we had with the press a couple of months back, that about the entire dubbing part as well. I think that how important it is to just dub with the right nuances and right tonality. Could you tell us your experience of dubbing for something like this?
Yeah, fortunately, this was sync sound, so we haven't had to dub much.
Right.
Some of the earlier portions which were shot in the outdoors in Delhi, that too have been not too difficult to dub because the sound department was quite satisfied with the sound.
Sure.
But yes, when you dub a scene, it's a nightmare because especially when you are emoting and something that comes on the spur of the moment in front of the camera, you have to relive the entire moment sitting all by yourself in a room, in an environment which is certainly not conducive to the scene that you've just enacted. To build that kind of mood again, to bring that kind of voice again, to bring that kind of emotion, so that, because that dub is going to be there for posterity now, so you have to get it absolutely right. And that is tough. But I guess one has to do it, so one keeps trying and trying to get as close as possible. I don't know what kind of technology or technique there is to get the right kind of emotion or the right kind of voice. But you keep dubbing and you keep seeing the result on the screen, you keep hearing the sound. And I suppose somewhere you make some sort of a judgment whether it is right or wrong.
Right.
You share it with the director who's there in the sound room. You share it with the sound director who's also there in the sound room. And if they're satisfied with it and they're happy with it, and if you're happy with it, you go ahead. It's a tough call, and it's tough dubbing a lot of. I find sometimes there are opportunities in a film where you can use the dub to, in fact, improve your performance.
Right.
At times, your performance actually goes down because you haven't been able to dub at the same intensity.
Correct.
Or perfection that the take was in. These are some of the faults that and the benefits, in a sense, of dubbing. So yes, it's a little tricky.
You're having this interesting sort of face gear as well at times. But
Yeah.
I don't know. One can draw analogies with Gotham as well in a way. And could you?
No,
I'm sure that
got nothing to do with that. It's just a mask that he wears because he's a little conscious about the pollution in Delhi.
Right.
And this is actually a mask that Abhishek got hold of. It's a mask that climbers who go to excessive heights, they train with this mask to strengthen their lungs.
Okay.
So you really have to breathe very hard once the mask is on. And there are various rotators within the mask which kind of act as a barrier towards the air that's coming in. So you really have to pull hard. And when you pull hard, you're actually exercising your lungs and you're strengthening them, because when you reach greater heights, when you're climbing mountains beyond 12, 13, 14,000 feet,
right,
you do have a problem about breathing. And if your lungs are strong enough, then it assists you in going to higher heights. The mask is something that you train with. So I just happened to share this with Shujit, and he felt that we could use this in the film because we're shooting in Delhi, and Delhi is renowned for its pollution, or has been in the past few years. It's now being reckoned as some of the most air-polluted cities in the world. So it just felt like a good prop for him to have. He's a little bit of a finicky person. He's alone. He lives alone. He's a retired lawyer.
Yeah. Okay.
And He lives opposite the building and almost parallel to the flat that these three girls, who are working girls, live in an apartment. And he's constantly either watching them from the balcony, and it's kind of mysterious.
Yeah, it is.
Who he is and what he is and why he's looking there. But that's the mystery that will be solved when you see the film.
16th September. You have, I think, a very interesting group of actors as well. Piyush Mishra is, I think, he's a fantastic actor. Taapsee is looking extremely good, even Kirti and Andrea as well. Could you please tell us something about your star cast?
Yeah, I keep saying this with all due respects to all the other major artists in the film.
Ji.
I feel that once you see the film, you will forget everyone else, but you won't forget this young generation of artists. They're absolutely incredible. Three girls, the boys, the four boys, just immaculate performances. And they're so involved, they're so natural, they're just so amazing in the film that, you won't see me. And I mean, Piyush, of course, is a very experienced and a veteran. And of course, he's brilliant in the film. But I just feel that the younger generation and these new girls that you'll be seeing for the first time, some of them for the first time,
right,
have done remarkably well.
So from the promo, the background score is something which is looking very interesting. Maybe the way the edit is, that is making it that impact or whatever. But I feel that the background score is something that is, in a way, just heightening the entire, maybe the mystery part of it, or maybe the element of maybe injustice that is happening with these guys. Do you feel that it's adding to the entire?
Because there are no songs in the film,
right,
the music has been constructed to either convey a particular portion or a certain sentiment in the film that comes up. Maybe it's a voice, an unspoken voice. Maybe it's a summation of what is going on. Maybe it's a kind of an indication of what one should be, of what the issues are. And I think that sometimes when you have music that isn't literally sung by the people, I mean, I know that we've seen promos of the girls singing it, but that's more for promotional purpose.
Right.
But in the film, of course, there'll be background scores, much like it was in Piku, for example.
Right.
And I think it's there to make you feel what the sentiment of that scene is, that sequence is, what is actually going on in the minds of the artist and the characters that are being played. And therefore, it kind of links you. It's very supportive of the sentiment of the film, of the sentiment of a particular scene or a dialogue or a moment. And I quite like it. The music has been composed and sung by some phenomenal singers and voices. And the words and the lyrics are very apt because they describe exactly in a very poetic manner what is actually happening in the film.
Ji.
Or perhaps the sentiment of the person who's portraying a particular role.
So you're also having I think, negative portion in Aankhein 2 as well, because if Aankhein 1 has to be believed.
Yeah.
So are you excited about that? Looks like really mounted in a big way.
The word negative that is normally used by everyone
Grey maybe,
is looked upon as a villain almost.
Right.
But there can be sympathetic negative characters as well.
Right.
Yeah. You look upon the character in Diwar, for example, as a negative character, but there is a reason for it and there is a sympathy with him.
Sure.
I guess Aankhein 2 or any other film that you may suppose to be truly negative may actually turn out to be have a reason for that. Maybe sympathetic as well.
Aankhein had a reason as well in terms of
the medical condition. There's a reason, and Aankhein 2 will have a similar reason. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, not exactly that, but yeah, circumstances which will not actually make you hate the person, but indeed sympathize with his cause and the reason why he's wanting to do something like this.
It's a tremendous speculation that the casting coup of maybe this century happened with you and Aamir coming together for Thug. Any truth to that? Is it something? I'm sure that you'd love to work with Aamir.
Oh yes, it's a great honor,
right,
and a great privilege for me to be working with him, to be working with Yash Raj again, and to work with Victor, who's just worked with Abhishek in Dhoom 3. I just look forward to that moment, and as I said, I feel privileged. I don't know whether I can talk much about the film right now because I haven't been given permission to, but all I can say at the moment is that it's a very exciting subject.
Thug.
And
you and Aamir coming together.
I don't think that the title has yet been confirmed, but in time to come, I guess Yash Raj will make an announcement, and that's when we'll be able to talk about it more freely.
I think people would love to just look into it because Amitabh Bachchan and Aamir Khan, and it has never happened before. You work
No,
with
it hasn't.
Shah Rukh, you work with Salman, but Aamir, it has never happened. Any tentative ideas of by when it's going to be starting?
It's going to start next year, early next year.
Great.
And first half, we hope to finish it.
And 2017.
Yeah, I guess.
Christmas or
well,
something?
that's something that, again, Yashraj will have to decide. I don't know when it's going to release.
And Abhishek is part of it as well? Abhishek?
No. Abhishek.
Victor. Okay. What are the other subjects that we can possibly see from you, sir?
There's Sarkar 3 with
With
Ram
Rama,
Gopal
yeah.
Verma. That's
Right.
starting by the end of the month. We'll
Right.
start work on that.
Right.
And there will be Balki's film. There will probably be another film with Sujoy and his company. I'm not sure whether he's going to direct it or Ribu Das Gupta will direct it.
Right.
And there are a few more in the pipeline. I think it'll be a little immature to talk about them right now, but yes, there are a couple. So most of next year is going to be slightly busy.
We would love to have you busy, sir. And Balki is someone that he has always come up with very interesting subjects
Yes,
with you.
yeah.
What is that film all about, sir?
Let's wait for it to fructify because we are still in the formative stages.
Right.
And as soon as that comes about, we'll talk about it. But
Okay.
yes, Balki is definitely on with the subject.
Right, sir. And so you're recording an Aarti for Ganesh Chaturthi for Siddhivinayak Temple. Is it something that you're looking forward to?
Yeah, Siddhivinayak Temple and the trustees came to me along with Times Music and they wanted me to sing the Aarti, and which I agreed, which I already finished and I have given it to them. It's dedicated to the Siddhivinayak Temple.
Right.
I think it's available now on iTunes and Apple Music and also on Times Now Music. Hopefully Shujit and I will shoot a video of it also.
Right.
And hopefully within a couple of days that video should be out as well. So yes, it's a great feeling and I hope that Ganpati's blessings are with us this year and
Definitely.
for the film Pink in
Definitely.
particular.
15 is
But
actually-
apart from that, it's just something that's very emotional. It's very satisfying. It's just very connecting, and I'm just very happy to have done that.
And your birthday is coming up as well next month.
That's a long time ago.
It's like almost like a month.
Yeah, another month to go for that. Yeah.
Right. And so your support for India's campaign for Olympics was something which was wonderful, and women over there as well, they really did well. One would want that maybe I think there should be far more that number of people should be winning. Do you feel like a country like China, for example? I spoke to Manoj Bajpayee. He came up with Budiyad recently, and the way on a war footing, the way they just work towards their athletes,
Yeah.
something. Do you feel that we should be doing it? Europe,
See, I think that there are systems already in place.
Ji.
I'm nobody to make any suggestions there. I just feel that we need to encourage youngsters from a very young age, and if they want to pursue a particular facility, a particular sport, there should be an organization which actually goes out and search for them, picks them up, secures them for their future, and then trains with them for at least 10, 15 years.
Right.
And then making them presentable for events such as the Olympics or World Championships. It is possible. And we keep getting hit by the fact that, we are 125 crore people and we can't produce, a gold medalist winner or,
Exactly.
or a medal winner. That is factual. But I feel that when we do get people who do achieve something, they need to be encouraged, they need to be supported, irrespective of who they are or what their number is. The fact that they have brought the name of the country on an international level is hugely creditable. I don't like the idea of them being criticized, oh, you only got one medal or whatever.
Correct.
But I keep saying, there's a sense of pride in your own country. If somebody has achieved that, they need to be acknowledged. And when they say, but we haven't got more, I say, well, look around you. How many other countries around India have had any kind of place in the medal category?
Sure.
And you look at our neighbors all over. We're in the same region. If region is what is troubling you or bothering you, then look at the other regions around us and how many have they succeeded. So let's not be too critical. Let us acknowledge the people that have enjoyed and given us this pride. And yes, our numbers may be small, but I can guarantee you that with the kind of attention that has been generated in this Olympic, and hopefully it will continue. I'm not saying that we're going to be doing miracles in the next one, in the next 4 years, but I do feel in the Olympics of 2024, there will be great honors. Of that I'm very confident. Because I think there's a certain spirit towards sports that has been invigorated by the winnings of these people. And the kind of attention that they have gotten, the kind of shortages that have been noticed. I wish that 500 Indians could just travel to the Olympics and only there to cheer their team. At every event, I see other nations and they have a single entry and they have hundreds of people cheering him and a great amount of support staff that looks after them, that keeps encouraging them.
Absolutely.
I see our sportsmen, they come off, somebody like Deepa comes off after doing a great performance in the gymnastics, and there's just a coach waiting for her, and
absolutely.
Kind of looks as though the country is not behind you. And that's wrong.
Absolutely,
and
absolutely.
We must push people towards that. And any kind of encouragement needs to be done. Just because there are some people and women in particular, we're very proud of the fact that they were able to do something which the men couldn't do. Fine.
Sure.
But it's not as though the men didn't try. Each athlete goes through an amazing lifetime, training, preparing, and the kind of hardships and the facilities that are given to them are so meager and so poor that it's a wonder that they even land up as qualifiers in the Olympics. So we need to revamp all that. And yes, there are government associations, but I wish that there could be an involvement of private people as well.
Bilkul, absolutely.
I went to the 1984 Olympics in Los Angeles, and the entire Olympics was run by private organizations. They built stadiums. Yes, the stadiums carried the name of the client or the brand, but so what?
Absolutely.
The entire financial thing was looked after. It was hugely profitable. The government earned, the private people earned, and just providing the kind of facilities for the entire world to see makes a lot of difference. We make huge facilities here, but there is no management to keep it looking clean, functional.
Absolutely.
And that can only happen if you have repeated events that keep happening there. Invite international sporting events, and that will encourage the organizers to keep that stadium clean, to keep that stadium working, make it look like almost a tourist attraction.
Absolutely.
I went to Australia and they were having so much pride in saying you must visit MCC, for example. And the way they have, just maintained that stadium, and the way that they have kept records and documented all the feats that have happened there, it's a tourist site.
Absolutely, absolutely.
You are not permitted to step onto the grass of the MCC ground. Do you know that?
Wow.
If you go as a visitor, you're not allowed to step on it. That's the kind of, almost regimentation.
That respect factor is definitely
and it's a huge amount of respect, yes.
Absolutely, absolutely. In fact, it was being said that the amount of money that's being showered on these winners right now, if they can get something, maybe even the half of that when they're training, the results will be far more.
Let's not join the two up. I think if somebody has shown affection and gratification to a winner, that is theirs and that should be theirs. But yes, it's a wonderful example of if that kind of money would be converted into their training, into the facilities.
Exactly.
Look where they could have gone.
Absolutely. So you also, in fact, for Savdhan India, you're just doing for that as well. Could you please tell us something about that?
Yeah, it's part of Swachh Bharat campaign.
Right.
And just having an event at JJ Hospital, other important centers in Mumbai to keep the city clean. And I hope that every individual can contribute their own little bit in keeping the facility that they work in, the environment that they live in, just keep it clean, and I'm sure that it will work fine.
So 22 million followers on Twitter, how does it feel?
Yeah, it's 22.1.
You'll be 25 very soon, sir.
No, it's great. It's just wonderful that I can communicate to people, tell them what I feel, what pictures I can put up, what my comments are. One has to be very careful nowadays because people like you will pick up something and make a news item out of it, which
no, so we are
not always complimentary, with due respect.
We try to be responsible.
The fact is that it's a fantastic medium for me to be able to talk to. Most of my people who are from the blog are on there. Some outsiders are there as well.
Right.
And you pick up comments from other people. Sometimes you react. Sometimes you just let it pass. There is abuse and there is bad language, but I just feel that you can't be getting praise all the time. If there is criticism, it's nice to know the other side. And sometimes you use that criticism. Many times when critics like you or somebody else will write a document on what they thought of a film, you may not like certain things, and we may not have the sensibility to be able to notice that. And sometimes it's important to pick that up and maybe improve yourself. So I look upon that as a mode of improvement rather than, start back abusing the person.
You started a very interesting precedent when after Teen press show you invited a few media personnel and you spoke to them and you just took their feedback in an extremely, I think, sporting manner. Is it something that you'll continue?
We are going to do that for Pink as well.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
Because I think it's a great revelation for the makers, for the artists, to be able to have a view away from these 5-6 months that they've been almost encapsulated in. The maker, the writer, the director, Shoojit Sarkar has made Pink. He's lived with it perhaps for a year or 2 years. He's sat with his writers, he's discussed things, he's formulated his mind, he's chosen his cast, he's spent huge amount of time shooting it, provoking performances from people. So they spent a lot of time. So maybe we are living in a cocoon while we're making the film. And sometimes we don't get the vision beyond the cocoon. And that's where people like you come in and tell us, look, hey, this was wrong, or this is right, or this was good, or this was really bad. Right. And I think that opportunity is valuable to us because we would like to know where we went wrong and try and repair it.
So you also made a very interesting point in that, in fact, that there should be some sort of archival material. There should be some place where we can possibly see the entire, in fact, memorabilia of great films and all these things. Dubai, I believe, it's starting a Bollywood village or something like that very soon. In fact, I was in US recently and someone told me that it's like really shocking that in a place like Mumbai, which is having such amazing culture of Bollywood, which is followed by the world over. People are absolutely crazy about it. But why is it that you don't have in fact, like a Bollywood village or any place that you can come and just see everything?
I think the government of Maharashtra is building the film city in a much more extravagant manner. Some plans have been sent to me and I've been asked to be there in some sort of an advisory capacity. But I think that one of the things that I have suggested and would like to suggest to them, and in some manner we must start this process of documentation, talk to people other than, what is your character, what is this, but how you actually approached it or how the director thought. These are very interesting factors which will make great archival material for generations to come.
Right. So when do you think it can possibly start, sir? Is there any tentative?
I don't know about this. They have just shown me a plan and an idea. As soon as it gets into execution, I would be able to talk more about it.
Okay, and sir, are you by any chance doing a movie called Dabba Gul with Varun Dhawan?
Yeah, look, there is talk about it, but as I said, that's with Yash Raj, but I can't say anything more about that at the moment.
Fantastic. So any final thoughts on Pink? Your last film with Shoojit Sarkar was Piku, which was total contrast to what you're doing over here. The P word continues.
Pink, a lot of people want to know what Pink is all about and why the title Pink, because a lot of people say, the interiors will not be able to understand the title. A lot of people feel that, Pink is an English sounding title, interiors will have a problem. And I recently gave a response to that. I don't know whether it's valid or not, but in the 70s, I did a film called Dawn. And when we announced the film, no one knew what Dawn was.
Right.
There was a product, a banyan that was being made by a firm called Dawn, D-A-W-N. And everyone thought ki ye usi ke liye hai. So I'm saying that maybe from after Pink is released, people will start realizing what Pink is all about. It's about the strength, the dignity, the respect for women. It's a symbol for women empowerment. But in our film, it's not just about women empowerment. It's what women go through and how women need to be treated in society. The way society looks at women, what they go through, how we need to correct it, how we need to correct ourselves towards it. There is an incident in the film that happens which provokes this kind of thinking. Whether the girls are right or wrong, that you will know once the film is released. But that is what Pink is all about. And it's very strong in its philosophy, in its thinking. I would want, ideally, some kind of a debate to happen after the release is over.
Sure.
And that's what, we wish to do with the media. And that's all being programmed. Just to know a point of view. But yes, it is thought-provoking. There is a story. It's entertaining, and it's not just a kind of a documentary on women empowerment. And it's not a film on rape. It's just a wonderful story that has been carved around an incident where 3 girls who are independent, living by themselves in an apartment, are involved in. And how society, legal aspects, looks at this incident, comments on it, and how it lands up in court and what happens there. That really is the story.
So you're extremely close to your mom, Teji Bachchan ji, and in many ways I think your English came from her, because I believe she was extremely proficient in English language, from what I understand.
No, I mean, you live in an environment
Right.
where, I don't know whether we do this because we pick from our parents. Yes, my mother came from, erstwhile Punjab, which is now in Pakistan. She was
Right.
born in Lalpur, which is now Faisalabad. She studied in Lahore, and Government College Lahore was renowned, and still is apparently, for its education and its culture and everything. So if that has been attributed to me, I'm very grateful. But equal respect and honor should go to my father, because
Absolutely.
he was a professor in English language
in English
Allahabad
language,
University.
Allahabad University, right?
But he wrote his poems in Hindi.
In Hindi.
And all his works are in Hindi. He's a doctorate in English literature from Cambridge. So he's a PhD. If that has had some effect on me, then I'm just very grateful to God and to them.
Fantastic. So actually, we can keep on talking to you. There's so much to discuss. In fact, thank you very much for your time, and looking forward to Pink. And I must tell you that whenever I have to tell anyone that as far as that entire thing that you said in that media meet, that if you get satisfied, then you've put a full stop to yourself. I think it's a hugely learning experience for me personally, and everyone else who was present over there. And I hope that more and more people can. We will keep on learning from you, and thank you once again. Thanks a lot.
Thanks very much.
That's all we have from Bollywood Hungama. Keep on watching.